Listen closely, because what you're about to hear is one of the most shocking transformations in all of history, how the most feared persecutor of Christians became one of the greatest apostles of Jesus Christ. This is the story of Saul, a man whose name caused believers to tremble, and how one unexpected encounter on a dusty road changed the course of his life forever. Saul's story begins in the ancient city of Tarsus, a busy and influential place known for education, culture, and trade. He grew up in a devout Jewish family and was trained from childhood to know the laws of God. As a young man, Saul stood out among his peers. He was passionate, intelligent, disciplined, and determined to defend everything he believed was right. He studied under Gamaliel, one of the most respected teachers of the law, and quickly became known as a rising figure among the Pharisees. To Saul, the teachings of Jesus were not just strange, they were dangerous. He believed that the followers of Jesus were misleading people, and he saw it as his sacred duty to stop them. Every time he heard someone speak about Jesus being the Son of God, or about resurrection, or about salvation through grace, Saul burned with anger. In his mind, he was protecting the faith of his ancestors. He thought he was working for God. And so, Saul became a hunter of Christians. He went from city to city, searching for anyone who followed the way, the early name for Christians. When he found them, he dragged them out of homes, separated families, and threw them into prisons. Some were beaten, some were threatened, some faced death, and through it all, Saul stood proud, believing he was fulfilling God's mission. One of the most unforgettable moments happened when Stephen, a man full of faith and the Holy Spirit, became the first Christian martyr. The crowd stoned Stephen to death for preaching about Jesus, and Saul was there, standing firmly, giving his approval, his eyes filled with certainty. That moment fueled him even more. Stephen died praying, "Lord, do not hold this sin against them," but Saul was unmoved. His heart was hardened, his mind was locked in its mission. As the early church grew, fear grew with it, fear of Saul. His name alone carried terror. Families whispered, "Hide, Saul is coming." People fled their homes. Christians gathered secretly, praying that God would protect them. But Saul was unstoppable. He went to the high priest and requested letters, official documents to arrest Christians in Damascus, a major city where many believers had fled for safety. With these letters, he would have full authority to capture any follower of Jesus he found. With confidence, Saul set out on the journey to Damascus. The sun was high, the road was long, dusty, and silent except for the sound of horses' hooves and footsteps. But Saul walked with purpose. Every step brought him closer to what he believed was a righteous mission. He felt powerful, certain, unstoppable. But heaven had other plans. Near Damascus, at a moment Saul never expected, something happened that shook the entire world of early Christianity. A bright light suddenly flashed from heaven, stronger than the sun, powerful enough to knock Saul to the ground. He fell face down in the dirt, overwhelmed and trembling. Then he heard a voice. A clear, strong, unmistakable voice. "Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?" Saul froze. His heart pounded. His entire body shook. He managed to whisper, "Who are you, Lord?" The voice replied, "I am Jesus, whom you are persecuting. It is hard for you to fight against me." In that moment, everything Saul believed shattered. Jesus, whom he thought was dead, was speaking to him from heaven. Everything Saul had been fighting against was true. Everything he had been destroying was holy. His mind spun. His heart broke. He realized he had been opposing God himself. Trembling and confused, Saul asked, "Lord, what do you want me to do?" Jesus answered, "Get up and go into the city, and you will be told what you must do." When the light faded, Saul tried to open his eyes, but he couldn't see. He was blind. The man who arrived full of confidence now needed help to walk. His companions, speechless and terrified, took him by the hand and led him into Damascus. For 3 days, Saul sat in darkness. He did not eat. He did not drink. He replayed everything in his mind, the faces of the people he arrested, the prayers of the believers he ignored, the death of Stephen, the voice he heard on the road. He realized the truth. Jesus was alive. Jesus was Lord, and Saul had been fighting against him. Meanwhile, in the city, God spoke to a believer named Ananias. The Lord told him to go to the house where Saul was staying and lay hands on him so that he might see again. But Ananias was afraid. Saul's reputation was terrifying. Everyone knew him. Everyone feared him. "Lord," Ananias said, "I have heard many reports about this man and all the harm he has done to your people." But God answered, "Go, for he is a chosen vessel of mine. He will carry my name to the Gentiles, to kings, and to the children of Israel." I will show him how much he must suffer for my name." With trembling but obedience, Ananias went. He entered the house, approached Saul, and said, "Brother Saul, the Lord Jesus, who appeared to you on the road, has sent me so that you may see again and be filled with the Holy Spirit." Immediately, something like scales fell from Saul's eyes, and he could see. He rose, was baptized, and his life took a direction no one could have imagined. The hunter became the believer. The persecutor became the preacher. The enemy became the messenger. Saul stayed with the believers in Damascus, learning, praying, and growing. Soon, he began preaching about Jesus in the synagogues. People were shocked. Some were confused. Some refused to believe this was the same man. But Saul spoke with power and clarity, proving from the scriptures that Jesus was the Messiah. His preaching stirred anger among those who once supported him. The same people who once praised Saul now wanted to kill him. The Christians he once hunted now helped him escape through a basket lowered from the city wall. Over time, Saul became known by a new name, Paul. It symbolized a new identity, a new purpose, a new calling. He traveled across cities and nations, preaching the gospel with courage and passion. He endured beatings, imprisonment, storms, shipwrecks, rejection, betrayal, and hunger, but he never turned back. The man who once brought fear to Christians now brought hope. The man who tried to destroy the church helped build it. Paul's letters, Romans, Corinthians, Ephesians, Philippians, and more, still shape Christian faith today. His teachings about grace, love, salvation, and perseverance continue to strengthen believers around the world. And it all began with a moment of blinding light on the road to Damascus. A moment when Jesus reached down not to condemn Saul, but to transform him. A moment that showed the world that no one is too far gone, no heart is too hard, no mistake is too deep for God to redeem. Saul's story reminds us that God can turn the worst of our past into the greatest testimonies. That he can take a broken vessel and make it a chosen one. That he can rewrite any story, no matter how dark it begins. This is the journey of Saul, the persecutor turned preacher, the enemy turned apostle, the man whose life proved that grace is stronger than guilt, and love is stronger than hate.